Alrighty, family, y'all already know what it is. It's your guy, Boro, the Lucky Libra, and it's time to get into the personal reading for Scorpio during this new moon, during this solar eclipse, to understand what influence you guys are going to be dealing with, especially post new moon, and to round up Gemini season, all right, for the most part. Now, Scorpio, fixed water ruled by Mars, co-ruled by Pluto. You have your own individual way of dealing with the emotions, and you're learning how to deal with different forms of transformation of the internal energies, raising your passions and motives higher to make them become, fruitful creations in reality. So when we're looking at all this energy in Gemini during Gemini season, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Venus eventually moving in to Cancer. Scorpio and Gemini energy was influencing us to have more of a critical eye with our relationships, our ways of thinking, all right, our mentalities, our habits with others, and how we interact with others. Scorpio, you're a very individual sign, one of the most introverted signs, okay? You guys have to give yourself an opportunity to feel vibrations out, your water, to feel in the environment out, to feel a person out before a relationship, before you start taking more steps, before you start embracing more internal transformation, all right, to get more adjusted to a situation. And that could take time. So in Gemini season being such a quick, speedy season, okay, also dealing with a lot of interaction with others, and also influencing us to be more expressive of our thoughts and the exchange of our thoughts. Scorpio, you may have been placed in a lot of situations this Gemini season where you was in vulnerable spaces thinking, should I release this much? Should I express this much? All right. You may have got caught listening too much and didn't get a chance, or I want to say didn't get a chance, but didn't embrace opportunities to be more expressive. So this season was trying to show you how that's needed, Scorpio. Communication is needed and is key to getting what you want at times, Scorpio. You guys deal with water. You guys are real mystical, okay? So you like to move subconsciously, you try to attract things based off your energies and see what repels naturally. This is why you like to play somewhat of the waiting game, letting the ice melt, letting a situation dissolve so you're able to read it. But in this situation, this season, this was pushing you to kind of set more of a sentiment, expressing how you truly feel with others in order to create them boundaries, Scorpio. But it's hard for people to read that sometimes based off your moods, based off your mere actions. So this overall, this season could have created misunderstandings in many ways, minor frictions in many ways, but it was ultimately showing you how to embrace communication more, to mend situations, to bring some more resolve. When we talk about communication, Scorpio, this was also a season for you to embrace being more connective when it comes to your motives, your passions. Okay, may have stumbled around conversations around things you're passionate about, and that was an opportunity for you to build more of an exchange with somebody, let somebody know how much experience you got dealing with things. All right, utilizing this air as a vessel to connect what you're creatively into, your passions and motives, to others. You definitely gained a lot of information on how to deal with some of your passions and motives. So now moving on, it's about making sure that information, that knowledge is applied, Scorpio. All right. But a lot of this was more so, a lot of these energies was really pushing you and forcing you to get more interactive, okay, to be more expressive about what you're dealing with, to understand that you got to, utilize your lip piece some more, Scorpio. Now, embracing constructive criticism helped to make needed transformations, and I also put in parentheses, helped prevent certain situations. So we was all gaining information about things in different ways during Gemini season. A lot of the things that you were gaining information on is understanding how to embrace any form of critique, okay? And also critiquing others that's in your industry, that's creatively into what you into, that's doing the things you want to do, and be able to critique them to see how you can critique yourself, to see what you need to work on. So yeah, you may have been real critical on certain things with your passions and motives, but all of these thoughts was to help you understand what to realign, what to revise with all this retrograde energy, okay, what steps to redo. So you want to keep these things in mind. Make sure you give the foundation to your business, especially your relationships, but certain personal issues. Make sure you revisit these things to check the foundation of it. Check your foundation of your investment, Scorpio. Understand who you be working with, all right? You by default are learning how to deal with a lot of behind the scenes energies, manipulation energies, secret. You attract these situations in your life. So in this time, you may have a lot of replay scenarios may have reoccurred dealing with certain situations with others either you was in the dark about or you was keeping somebody in the dark about, but that past circumstance came to the light this season and you had to deal with that. And this may have been one of the situations you had to be more communicative about certain things. All right. So in many different type of ways, I'm sure y'all could drop in the comments what type of circumstances you've been pushed into that made you feel vulnerable, but subconsciously you felt like this was a lesson for you to understand how to be more vulnerable and open with the emotions and connecting how you truly feel about things. All right. So that's very key. You know, tact comes before ego. This is another thing you guys may have been learning this season. So this is all to help you build new morals and principles moving into Cancer season, Scorpio, which is going to be a trine season. So it's going to be real fruitful time for you to have access to this energy because you're already dealing with water. This energy is helping you to understand more. All right. Understand how you deal with your emotions more. Help you bring more clarity to past situations when we get into Cancer season. Help you, connect to the things that make you feel more comfortable with your emotional well-being. And when your emotional well-being is in a comfortable place, even though that's a hard place to get to at times, your whole life is a battle of trying to be emotionally comfortable. When you do reach spaces that's close to that, you see how it affects your work ethic. You see how it affects your ability to let your creativity be released. All right. So this is what we want to keep an eye out on. Boundaries and your distance with others and how accessible you were was very important for you. But you may have been in your case, you may have leaned on the scale of being not too accessible. So this season was more so about you making sure you put yourself in a space to be accessible to those who's in your creative field, in your business field, related to your passions and motives, instead of you entertaining other energies with people that make you feel super vulnerable. You feel like you can't be a free spirit around them. These were some of the relationships that you may have felt like you had to put some more boundaries on. All right, Scorpio. So we just want to take all these gems and move it into Cancer season and bring way more understanding about a lot of the interactions you may have had with others this season, especially dealing with working on your communication with others to bring understanding. All right, Scorps.